Hey everybody, we just got back from a current movie. Arctic Dogs.
I know everyone's been chomping at the bit for this one, right? What is this movie?
We didn't even see a trailer for this film before we watched it.
The first footage I saw was when we sat down in the theater and watched the movie. I saw nothing of this film.
I mean, part of that is because we don't watch TV and we don't really watch things that have ads on them online because
But usually if our theater is going to show a movie,
we see trailers for it.
We see at least a trailer for it.
At like the animated kids movie before that one, but we didn't for this one because
No.
But also this did play in our local theater, so we saw it today. I mean, it's a day later than when it normally comes out, but whatever, we were busy. Who cares? Because again, who cares?
Yeah. Well, I actually
Arctic Dogs.
While I was looking up some details for this movie, I saw a news article that says, "Not that anyone cares, but Arctic Dogs releases this weekend."
Oh, snap.
That was the tagline. I'm like, oh, dang.
So this is a movie made by a company I don't think anyone's heard of before. What was the publisher's name?
Well, okay, the production companies are AIC Studios, AMBI Media Group, and Assemblage Entertainment.
Okay, so those are the people that actually made the movie.
Right.
Like the studios that animated it. Who is the releasing company?
It's distributed by Entertainment Studios.
Entertainment Studios.
Yeah, there's that logo.
Entertainment Studios, a global media company. That's not a real company.
That's like a company you make up to just put in the background of one of your shots or something.
Like you
that.
make a fake movie in your movie or show, and it's made by, I don't know, Genera Studios.
Yeah.
Entertainment Studios is so bland. I don't even, like, I forgot what it was called.
It stuck with you because it was so bland.
I was
You're
like,
just like, what?
That can't be real.
I'm looking to see what else they've released, and I'm trying to see if I recognize anything.
Okay.
I don't think so.
We haven't even talked about the movie. It's a movie about global warming
No.
and the mail service. Kind of.
I guess.
That's the general underlying premise, but like the overlying premise is it's
Like,
a generic teenage guy, or not teenage, but like mid-20s guy trying to be a someone working in a dead-end job with a bunch of minorities, but then it turns out he does turn out to be a good special person, good dog boy, because
he chosen one.
he proves himself and saves the day from evil maniacal walrus.
yeah.
Oops, I kind of spoiled the movie. So? I don't think we're going to do spoilers,
Yeah.
like a spoiler section. There is spoilers, I guess, but like, it doesn't matter.
Who's gonna go see this?
Who's going to be upset
'Cause,
about
like,
spoilers
okay.
on Arctic Dogs?
Y'all know what kind of movie this is. This is just a movie that's made. Like, it might get sequels down the road, but they'll all be like direct to Netflix sequels, like the Alpha and Omega route went. Where it's just like catering to a specific audience.
The furry demographic.
The furry demographic,
The child
I guess.
furry demographic. Because,
Yeah.
again, it's another movie that probably hedging off of like Zootopia's success is like animals, being animals in an animal society, except like we're going to try to cover the whole speciesist route, but like do it poorly and not really do anything
By cover
with
it, we mean like mention it briefly and then somehow make it so that we've solved all the problems by the end of the movie without addressing anything.
It's like, oh, yeah, you can't do it because you're just a fox. You're just a fox. And then at the end, every individual species, except for like most of them, a couple of the specific species get to show off cool things that their species can do, like fly and run around in the snow naked because they're white. Cool abilities! and it's okay, and everything's good because we're going to use these newfound individualist powers of these species and we're going to exploit them for mail delivery. Sorry, did I say exploit? I meant exploit.
None of that makes any sense out of context, but I want you all to know that what Sean's saying is 100% accurate to the movie.
Yep.
Okay. There's just not really a whole lot here. Like, if you go see this movie, it's not offensive. It is kind of soul-crushingly boring and generic, but like, there's nothing...
Nothing made me angry.
No.
If anything, I got really bored and wanted to leave the theater.
Yeah, I really wanted to leave. I was
like-
like, I've got better things to be doing with my time. But I will say, trying to find some positives here, you know, like, I've seen worse of these kinds of movies.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, usually they're unbearable. This was thankfully not.
It's just
the
going to be
voice
mainly
cast-
unforgettable.
Yeah, the voice cast did an okay job. There wasn't any, like, fantastic acting. None of the actors were really pushed for any of the parts. Some of the scenes are really awkward in line delivery and what's being said and what's going on screen. But, like, for the most part, the voices matched the characters all right. The character designs aren't bad, because usually in these movies the character designs are awful. And I actually liked a few. The polar bear, I liked his character design.
The children designs were bad.
Yeah.
Like, they start as children and then they become adults 5 minutes into the movie.
There's a sequence of images in the, like, opening credits screen with cute art.
The general art direction is Genera Furry. And
Zootopia light.
yeah. You say that most of the line delivery is good, except there was one specific moment where we had another character say, "Oh no," just like an Abominable, and the line delivery was horrible.
Yeah.
It was the girlfriend Fox character named Jade, and she's just like, "Oh no, I will do this thing now," and like it was so awkward. Like, you want to try that again, hon? That line delivery was piss poor.
There is so... Yet again, I don't know what it is with these movies. They spend so much money on getting recognizable voice actors. And then, like, spend nothing on the budget. The rest of the budget of the film. We've got Jeremy Renner as Swifty, our main character, which is awkward.
Yeah.
Now. Alec Baldwin, who is PB, the polar bear.
Oh, okay.
Heidi Klum as Jade, the red fox. John Cleese as our villain, Doc Walrus. Angelica Hudson as Magda the
caribou?
Although they say reindeer here, but in the movie she says that she's a...
She specifically is like, "I'm not a moose, I am a caribou!"
Yeah.
So, that's speciesist.
James Franco is Lemmy, the albatross. Omar Sy is Sal. Michael Madsen is Duke. Yeah.
You know, you're saying these characters' names and I don't even know who you're talking about.
We just saw the movie. Duke was the top dog guy.
Okay. So, like, a general plot synopsis. I'm gonna try to do something here.
Okay.
Small fox child looks up to male men. So he gets a job in the mail force. And he wants to be a delivery guy, but he's a fox and not a wolf.
Husky.
A husky. He's not a balto. He can't do it. And then we diverge.
This movie did really remind me of Balto. And not just because you told me people were comparing it to Balto. It just makes me want to watch Balto, because Balto's a better movie.
Oh, yeah. And then we kind of diverge into, there's an evil walrus who was also part of the male force at some point, but he's also like a mechanical genius, and he wants to use bad gas. They literally call it bad gas to induce global warming
to speed up global warming, to melt the ice caps, to destroy the town.
As revenge for not being allowed to use the bad gas to make a mail system.
Yeah.
And getting fired over it. And then the main character wins by running through town in his skivvies so that he can't be seen and stops the machine.
Yeah. I thought you said you were doing a thing here.
I just wanted to like summarize for people to understand how nonsensical but generic this plot is.
Oh yeah.
And then in the end, main character is the good guy and gets to be in charge of the new delivery force, which is now not just wolves because that was speciesist. Now we'll exploit everybody for their individual species and what they're good at. Like the goat will deliver on mountains, and the mouse will deliver to mice because that way the packages don't get crushed because they're tiny.
It's gonna take him all day.
Yeah, I know. It's like mice live all over this town, and you don't have cars. You just have people walking or sprinting and pulling sleds.
Yeah.
That mouse is never going to get done.
It's like, if you guys really want to speed up this whole mail process, like, okay, and there's this other really confusing plot point where the walrus needs the girl fox, Jade, to make parts for his machine. So he's like commissioning her to make these parts.
And she's a mechanical genius because women empowerment.
She's gone off like all across the world to study. I don't know why you need to travel the world to become an engineer, but apparently you need to travel to exotic places, to quote the movie, to become an engineer.
I mean, I kind of get this plot point because she lives in the Antarctic where nothing happens and there is no mechanical...
she only needs to travel to one place. She doesn't need to go across the universe to learn how to be an engineer. She didn't even.
She went to like one or two places and the generic white guy is jealous and is like accusing her in an offhanded way of traveling the world. And she's like, I didn't go everywhere. It sounds like she went to France and like maybe one other location.
No. They definitely make it sound like she's been because she specifically mentions like seeing all these places, meeting all these, like going to all these exotic like towns or whatever. Like she mentions that. And I'm like, where are you studying engineering? Anyway, they have her building this machine. She doesn't know she's building for evil Dr. Robotnik, Walrus Man. And then
it is.
They reveal evil Dr. Robotnik, Walrus Man, to also be an engineer.
But he doesn't do any engineering.
But doesn't he?
But he's like an ideas guy, it seems like.
Yeah, but he actually made the mail system better. How would he do that if he wasn't an engineer of some sort? That's true.
So it's kind of a questionable plot point of why is he having her build this stuff?
Right.
Unless like...
just to get her involved in the plot.
I'm wondering if it's something along the lines of she's just better than him. And so
probably.
She's better at like the technical small pieces and he built like the generalized larger bits.
Yeah, it's too big of a project for him. Okay. Well, we can go with that. That's
my headcanon for the important movie Arctic Dogs.
Yeah. Gotta make sure there's not any plot holes. Heaven forbid.
Would I recommend people watch this movie?
Oh, heavens no.
Probably not. Maybe, like, once it comes to Netflix or streaming services in general, I don't know who's going to pick it up. Maybe check it out then with some friends and have a laugh night.
I don't know. There's not much to laugh at.
Okay, I guess that's true. No, I don't even suggest that. I was going to say, if you're a parent that's bad at parenting and just want to sit a kid down in front of a movie to distract them for an hour and a half, watch this. But then I'm like, no, don't do that because that's bad parenting.
Yeah, I don't want to encourage that. I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that. So, like, sit them down with something good. Or, like, actually don't and engage with them in some way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Skip on this movie. There's better things to spend your time on.
Yeah. With all the things out there, there is better things to spend your time on. Like Dragon Prince, which came out today.
Oh. Yes, we'll need to watch that soon.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dragon
we have
Prince
so many
season
things.
3. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, speaking of things coming up, we didn't see trailers for anything new that we haven't already talked about this year.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing we're watching is on, Thanksgiving
Pardon you.
Day. Thanksgiving Day or the day before or after, I don't know, whenever we get to it, it's Frozen 2.
Hooray!
So, maybe a good movie for this year.
Yeah! We'll see.
All right.
Bye-bye.